Have you ever wondered how the small island nation of Britain came to rule over a quarter of the globe? The seeds of this colossal empire were sown during the Age of Exploration. The British East India Company, established in the early 17th century, pioneered trade routes that sparked Britain's imperial ambitions. The allure of spices, textiles, and other exotic goods from Asia ignited a burning desire for expansion and domination. Meanwhile, across the Atlantic, the colonization of North America began. Jamestown, founded in 1607, marked the onset of British presence in the New World. The 13 colonies, with their abundance of wealth and raw materials, soon became pivotal to the burgeoning empire. Simultaneously, the Royal Navy emerged as a formidable force, protecting British interests and ensuring the smooth flow of trade across vast oceans. This naval power was instrumental in shaping the empire's trajectory. By the end of the 1700s, the British Empire had established a solid foundation and was poised for further expansion. The 18th and 19th centuries marked a period of rapid growth for the British Empire, fueled by industrialization and global conflict. The 7 Years' War brought significant territorial gains for Britain, including parts of India, Canada, and the Caribbean. These territories, rich in raw materials, became crucial cogs in the wheel of the burgeoning Industrial Revolution back home. As Britain transformed into the world's first industrialized nation, the empire served as a ready market for its goods and a seemingly inexhaustible source of raw materials. In the East, the British East India Company wielded increasing control over vast swaths of India, profoundly impacting its society, economy, and politics. However, this dominance was not without resistance. The Sepoy Rebellion of 1857 marked a significant turning point, leading to the transfer of control from the company to the British Crown. By the end of the Victorian era, the British Empire had expanded across Africa and Asia, reaching the height of its power. However, the late 19th and early 20th centuries brought significant challenges to the British Empire. The motivations behind British imperialism became a topic of intense debate. On one hand, the empire was seen as a civilizing mission, a beacon of progress spreading the English language and Western values across the globe. On the other hand, many viewed it as a stark exploitation of resources and peoples, causing immense suffering in the wars in South Africa, fought between the British Empire and two Boer states, the South African Republic and the Orange Free State, over the empire's influence in South Africa, further exposed the complexities of imperialism. The wars, marked by fierce guerrilla warfare and concentration camps, ignited a wave of criticism back in Britain and raised serious questions. Then came the strain of World War I, a devastating conflict that stretched the empire to its limits. The war required immense resources and manpower from across the empire, causing tension and discontent. Simultaneously, nationalist movements began to rise in the colonies, inspired by the principles of self-determination proclaimed in the wake of the war. The challenges of the early 20th century set the stage for the eventual decline of the British Empire. The mid-20th century marked the end of the British Empire as colonies began to gain their independence. The process of decolonization was both complex and fraught with challenges. After the Second World War, Britain, weakened and financially exhausted, began to reassess its imperial commitments. In India, the jewel in the British crown, the struggle for independence had been brewing for decades. Under the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi, the Indian National Congress led a peaceful revolution, culminating in India gaining its independence in August of 1947. The winds of change blew across Africa and the Caribbean as well, with many nations casting off the shackles of colonial rule, often after protracted struggles and negotiations. But the end of an era also marked the beginning of another. The legacy of British rule was a mixed bag. On one hand, the English language, democratic institutions, and legal systems embedded by the British continue to serve as a unifying factor in many former colonies. On the other hand, the scars of exploitation, cultural erosion, and artificially drawn borders continue to pose challenges. While the British Empire has long since fallen, Its influence continues to shape our world today. The echoes of its rule can be heard in the global spread of the English language, the parliamentary systems of government in many nations, and the ongoing debates about the impacts and ethics of imperialism.